What's going on? Fabian for Liberty. FabianForLiberty.com is my website. This Friday, I'll be doing a new webinar regarding the forecast for the 2016 real estate market. If you've seen my other forecast regarding the real estate market going back to 2012, starting off with my documentary film, House of Cards, Real Estate's Big Secret, you'll see that I've been spot on regarding what's been going on in the real estate market. And I'll just say next year is going to be probably the big blowout year for housing in America. And if you, again, have followed my work, you know that my belief is that the economy in America is centered, the keystone of it, if you will, is the real estate market and the trillions of dollars, not only in debt, but also the trillions of dollars to the economy that comes from the real estate market. And if that goes down, along with all the derivatives tied to the debts that have been incurred in real estate alone, it could be a real shockwave, the likes of even worse than 2008. Because believe it or not, the debt that defaulted in 2008 is still out there. There's still a lot of it that has not been paid back. So, okay. In this video, though, so yeah, if you want to sign up for that webinar, the link is down below. In this video, I want to talk about Donald Trump coming out and saying that the United States should suspend temporarily Muslims from other countries that are wanting to immigrate to America. Now, there's a couple different sides to this story, or a couple different sides to this position. One is that, that's exactly what ISIS wants. They want to be able to use that in their propaganda to basically say, look, the West, this is a cultural war. It's the West against us. They're now, going after Muslims in America. They're not allowing them to come to America, all this stuff. And certainly that could be used for propaganda, but clearly ISIS's propaganda isn't contingent on U.S. foreign policy, or not so much foreign policy, but a domestic policy. Like, ISIS has a ton of propaganda that it can use, starting with America's foreign policy, starting with the wars that have been waged. I'm not taking ISIS's side, but clearly the foreign policy of the United States, particularly in the Middle East, and the foreign policy of the West in the Middle East, has been a horror show. And, something that they'll likely never put in their propaganda is the fact that the West started the destabilization campaign and has aided and abetted ISIS. So incredibly hard for some people to understand that, but that's, if you think about where did ISIS come from, that's where they came from. Now, today we find out that these San Bernardino shooters received $28,000 into their bank accounts, wired into their bank accounts from some unknown source. And that's interesting because one wonders, look, with ISIS being able to sell about $1 million to $2 million of oil a day that they're selling to Turkey, they're selling to other countries as well, they have money. They have a lot of money. And that's just money they've received in oil sales, not to mention, the gold that they looted from banks that they took over in Iraq and in Syria, whatever other collateral they were able to loot in these that they were stored in these banks as well. But they have a lot of money. And so they're able to inspire attacks around the world and also able to pay people off and give them money in order to give them that financial resource they need to coordinate and put these attacks together. So I have to tell you, as someone who is very weary of fascism, I'm very weary, and I have since day one. I don't want to target Muslims because I think we have a criminal government. And this criminal government, quite frankly, I personally believe its biggest threat, its biggest enemy, are legal, abiding gun owners that believe in Christianity, that are pro-family, that are pro-life, that want sound immigration in their country, that believe in the Constitution. I think that's the government's biggest threat. And if anything is so obvious, it's that. Especially in light of the way this administration talks about radicalization, and really it's the guns. It's not the ideology of Islam. It is the guns that lead people to do this kind of stuff, that lead people to do this kind of barbarism here in the streets of America. So I've been actually protective because I don't want to give this government, it's like why I don't believe in the death penalty. I don't trust this government. I don't trust this government to get it right, and I don't want to give this government that much authority. So I'm conflicted by this. I want to hear what a lot of people have to say, because there's a lot of people out there that claim to be pro-liberty, but yet, they'll say, well, no, we need to stop the Muslims being able to come to this country legally. Now, again, the number one responsibility of government is to protect our liberty. Coupled with that, it's to keep this country safe. keep our borders safe, which they failed horribly at doing. If there's an exponential threat from Muslim Americans or Muslims that are migrating to this country, stopping the flow of them into this country temporarily is something that I actually will support. I will support it because really, look, let's say 98% of Muslims that come to this country are peace-loving. They don't want to go blow things up. They don't want to, chop off Americans' heads. You only need that 1 or 2% that will. And we don't know, just like we've seen in Europe. We have no idea who, and look, this so-called refugee wave that's been used, that the left is working, in my opinion, in many ways with the Islamists, claiming this is a refugee wave, when this is just like one of the most classic military strategies of all time. It's this camouflage smokescreen of send over the horde of so-called refugees and hide your fighters within that horde so they can set up shop to whatever country they're going to. That's what's happening here in America as well, ladies and gentlemen. And, I'll just wrap it up with this. I've been thinking a lot lately, and I don't even want to do a video about this. I'm just going to comment about it. But to hear the media, to hear just everything going on, I'm concerned that there's a big attack coming. And it's not a mass shooting. It's bombs, or it's poisoning water supplies, or it's something. And this is I acknowledge government wants to create widespread fear because that's where they gain power. And it's a crazy topic, because there's those out there that watch these videos that believe ISIS isn't even real. In fact, there is no threat at all of radical Islam. And then there's those that believe, everything's a hoax. I'm in the middle. I believe 9/11 was an inside job. I believe in false flag attacks. I know there's been attacks that have been staged for political and power grabs by governments, not only here in America but around the world, and they'll continue to happen. But there is no doubt that the ISIS created, the Western created ISIS is a threat. How much they're a threat here at home, I don't know, but it's way past mass shootings. We're talking about the ability to take down power grids and all kinds of other things. Anyways, love to hear your comments on this, ladies and gentlemen. I am Fabian for Liberty. Again, free webinar this Friday on my 2016 real estate predictions. It's getting close to that period of time where this market could completely fall apart. For those people that actually understand boom and bust cycles, it's a great opportunity. For those that are in the prosperity mindset, it's a great opportunity. But if you're in the scarcity mindset, then opportunity likely rarely comes your way. Thanks for watching. I'm out.